Hey guys, it's me Avi Dwivedi and you are listening on Extended Reality Developers of India community. Today it's going to be very exciting because from SimOneFX I have Mr. Rahul Patil, who is the CEO and founder of SimOneFX, and we are going to dive deep into his work, and that work revolves around healthcare XR. So without any further delay, let me invite him on the podcast, and here he is. Hi, Rahul. Welcome on the podcast, and we are going to talk to you about your work at SimoneFX. So, please introduce yourself to the audience, and we are really excited to start the show.
So, so I'm Rahul Patil, founder of SimoneFX Reality Labs, and we are into basically doing virtual reality products, which include some wellness and mindfulness apps, which are focused for Oculus, HTC Vive, and some VR platforms. And we have started with the app development with the mindfulness and wellness segment. So and as VR is now booming, so we are shifting to transforming those app-based experiences into the immersive experiences where you can get more out of that, and which can help you more in better sense.
Rahul, I'm going to ask you about immersive environment, like one of our immersive environment I'm already in. So, what are your experience with the immersive environments, and what do you think about virtual reality and augmented reality in general? How do you see it adapting with the society? How do you see the future of it?
Right. So immersive experiences and the virtual reality. I'll look at it as like it's in a new era of like we can see it's a new version of storytelling. Like previously, we were using paintings to tell stories. Then uh, we improvised to have motions like in the cartoons. Then we came to the black and white cinemas. Then we added the audio, and now we are into 3D cinemas. VR is an extension to that, where you are going to have a 360-degree experiences, um, which allows you to immerse completely into the environment, like into the scene, and that's what I look at it as a new medium of storytelling, and
So
where
you
you can
see
embody.
So you see immersive experiences as the new mode of conveying whatever the story you want to convey, right?
Yes, yes, yeah, right. So
Amazing.
basically, what happens in this is the first time in history, like we are able to get into the different persona, into the different body, and that's why I think VR is getting so much of the focus right now. It didn't happen previously that normal users or customers were able to be in someone else's body and experience those things. So right now is the VR has allowed people to get into the different persona. That's extraordinary thing happening. So that's what uh, uh,
Amazing. Yeah.
yeah.
So now let's talk about healthcare. You have done your research in XR healthcare. So let me know some of your findings about XR healthcare.
Okay. So basically, I started with the healthcare and combined it with the VR. It started with the personal story. Even I was having some panic disorders, and I was under treatment for that. So I was looking for VR. So I purchased Google Cardboard and tried various experiences on that. Like YouTube has hosted like 360-degree videos. So I was quite not able to go outside, and so Google Cardboard helped me at that time. So I used to have those mobile phone inside and used to get that experience, and it got me like, yeah, this is working somehow, and this can be improvised. Like it can be personalized. It can be have in more curated content. So I started thinking about it. What can be done with the available devices? So right now the technology is like you are getting a content which is already built for masses. So why can't we do a personalized content creations? Like if VR has a potential to be immersed so intensely into it, and it can have an impact on your neural pathways and your decision making. So why not to make it more useful? Like, if technology is there, why can't we utilize it for personalized treatment in PTSD or anxiety? So I started thinking about it, and right now there are few uh, developments happening in this segment of healthcare, mental wellness, mindfulness, with the VR and immersive experiences. So the story then moved to, like, I started doing some electronics while with the VR. So how we can connect biofeedbacks like HRV, like your heart rate, your galvic skin response, your body temperature. These are the biofeedback which actually produced by the people or user or seer while we are experiencing everything. Like while you're watching cinema, we are producing a biosignals, we are reacting to the content. So that was the point when I thought to why not to combine those together and have some personalized experience. Like, we have a machine learning, we have a technology to gather data points like biofeedbacks and biometrics, and combine it with the 3D scenarios, combine it with the virtual reality, and make experiences which is built upon a data which is produced by me. How my body is reacting, how my body reacted to, how my mental signals reacted to the content. So that was the whole story coming to the mental healthness, mental wellness, and
I guess you
mental fitness.
explained it really correctly that uh, no matter whatever the content we watch, our body reacts to that content in a certain way, right? You watch a very
Yeah,
emotional movie, you became emotional. You watch a happy, funny movie, your entire ecosystem of your body becomes joyful and funny, right? You said it really correctly. And impossibilities and possibilities of virtual reality are humongous. So when we are talking about virtual reality, we can represent a lot of things which are technically not possible. Like I'm becoming an Iron Man, which is not possible here in reality, but with VR it is, right? So we can reface the environment in which somebody in with virtual reality, and that affects on the mental condition of patients. So doctor can carefully construct these simulation where we can basically help the patient to reconfigure his surroundings and his
exactly.
emotions and interactions. I think it's a very
Yeah,
great use case of virtual reality. So let me
right.
know. Once you talked about some mental disorders. So what are the mental disorders and what kind of simulations we can do for it? So let's say if I talk about PTSD, or if I talk about let's say there are many. If I talk about bipolar, so what kind of things we can do for such patients?
There are so many things like with the VR right now. We are doing some clinical trials on different patients, and it can be used for various various mental health segments. Like, there is a pain treatment, like pain therapy,
Yeah.
like people who have suffered from extreme accidents or like having burns. So we can use VR as a distraction. So we are distracting them from their pain, and it works. And there are like PTSD cases, like there are anxiety, general anxiety is there. So lots of use cases are there, and VR is proving, like, there are so many clinical trials are going on. We still don't have like concrete use cases, but right now the healthcare professionals are aware of this. Like, companies who are into it are aware of this, how we can enhance this technology, because we are at like very early stage of development, how we can
Right.
expand, expand VR. In future, it's gonna be like, it will be like a normalized device. Yeah. So VR for mental health can be used in different aspects. Like, it can be used for anxiety treatment. It has some use cases with the PTSD. We can have it for general anxiety and pain management. Like, the people who have suffered from major accidents and major surgeries can have VR as a distraction device, where you can put a VR headset for some relaxation and mindfulness sessions, and patient can watch that and immerse himself or herself into the experience, and can distract self from the pain, which is like a treatment for those people. VR can be used for it has been used for PTSD as post-traumatic stress disorders with the army people. Like they are into high stress areas, and after they withdraw from the field, like war zones, their mental activities are still in those mode, like fight or flight mode, and we need to settle it after the war is over, which didn't happen normally. So VR can be helpful in that scenario. We can have some experiences built for army, which can be helpful to get them into the normal level of activities with the neural connections can be normalized.
Awesome. So you spoke about a lot of rehabilitation part. So how virtual reality can help in rehabilitation of patients.
Your voice is
Uh,
cracking. Okay. Sorry.
yeah, yeah. Am I audible now?
Yeah, you're audible.
Yeah. Let's say if I have to treat somebody for injuries, like somebody lost a limb or something, or from army or something. So in that case, virtual reality, this for this specific case, how virtual reality helps somebody to overcome the social aspect of overcoming this personality.
Right, right. We are can have there were some experiments done before. Like first we had like a experience of VR mirror therapy, which we used to call it. And mirror therapy, what we do is like you replicate with the mirrors. If you have arms, you will be shown. That was an experiment. I don't have those clips right now, but it was proven before also. If you have lost some parts, body parts, VR can help you to put you again with those body parts, like you have in your own avatar. You can feel that, and your neural connection can trigger those arms or the movements of legs. So with the VR, you can practice that, and with the like for social skills, it will be helpful for those patients also who have lost their arms or legs.
Yeah, you said it really correctly that a lot of people face social anxieties of every kind. So, how the social experiences like Rec Room or VR chat, where they don't have to meet people personally, like there is no real danger of liking or disliking, but they can express their self and talk about their self in several ways. So, how do you see these experiences helping people?
I lost your questions. Hello.
Yeah, yeah. So I was talking about like there are so many social platforms in the metaverse which we are building, or for virtual reality and augmented reality. How do you see these social experiments helping people to achieve more well-being and social aspects? A lot of people face this social anxiety. How do you see virtual reality helping them?
Yeah, social anxiety and social gatherings are really tough for some people to get into and to open with the other people. Like we have a different mindsets, and people having I think early exposure, like in childhood. Some people have those exposures, and some people miss out those exposures, where actually the brain gets, trained to the society and trained to the how we are talking, how we are, exposing ourselves with the society, and somewhere somehow we have lost early exposures. Like
Right.
it can happen. So VR can be useful in that case also. Like we can have experience where you can control how many people are in the VR experience. Like if you want to talk with the positive people, you will have a positive crowd over there. If you want to talk with the 3,000 people of crowd, right now we can't do that. But in the VR virtual reality, we can have that. So that's major advancement of using virtual reality to train in social skills and to train into the uh, to minimize the fear of the stage.
Absolutely, absolutely. I got your point. Uh, so we have discussed many more things about virtual reality. So, Rahul, I have one more question to you. That whenever we talk about healthcare XR, usually these products are expensive, not just for patients but also for hospitals. So, in
But,
your experience, in my experience,
sorry,
I have
can
faced
you?
some of the financial issues with the product. But in your experiences, how do you see hospitals or doctors reacting about the product, and how do you see patients adopting it? Right now, in my experience, the virtual reality headset are getting cheaper and technology is getting more and more accessible. So, in your opinion, how more and more people could take advantage of virtual reality, or what kind of headsets you recommend, especially in this case of this mental illness, and in case of mental rehabilitation and these sort of
Right,
things.
right. So there was a major lack of platforms available for professionals in previous years, but now since like 2 to 3 years back, since Oculus and everything is available to the masses, the platform availability was a major issue for healthcare professionals. But now I think it's the beginning for starting VR clinic. That's a virtual reality clinic. Like we have talked with some hospitals in India, and we are into the progress of doing some trials of VR clinic. So it's a beginning, and we will be having a set of trainings for professional how you can use virtual reality and how you can take those parameters, and we can have an add-on therapy. This will be the add-on therapy. We can't say that yes, use VR and it can be a complete treatment. It's not standalone treatment. You still have to have medications and other ongoing procedures. VR is just now for like an add-on. It's helping, but to open new doors, we have to more studies going on, more CTs, like clinical trials should be done. And as we get a data and concrete data, this will be the part of hospitals in coming soon period.
That is amazing. I would love to see more and more hospitals adopting your
Yeah,
product, and clinical trials soon begin with this
yeah,
particular
because
product.
clinical trials are important as the the current scenario we are facing right now. We don't have more biofeedbacks, which are very crucial part of this. Like it's in storytelling, but it's an medicine for brain also. It can cure your understandings. It can rewire your understandings. It can repath your neural connections, which are better in living and the scenarios where you are uncomfortable. Like anxiety is a part of uncomfortability, and PTSD. These kind of uh, mental illness can be diagnosed and treated with the help of immersive experiences, because these are ultimately connected with your cognitive behavior and your emotions. VR is the right platform where you can get those parameters very well.
Yeah, absolutely correct.
Yeah.
And so, what do you think, from your perspective? How do you conceptualize these particular experiments? What are the way to do it? Do you also sit with doctors and experts when while designing such experiences, or do you do your own research about the disease and go for some subjects to test the results? What could be the better way to do it?
I didn't got your questions. Please repeat it.
Yeah, so while making or designing such experiences, what are
Hmm.
your perspective? How do you plan such experience? Do you also include the doctor's opinions while creating such experiments?
Got it. Got it. So the parameters we are tracking right now are like a heartbeat, your eye gazing, where you are gazing at the scene, and like your skin galvic response, your temperature also. So these are the factors right now, and there is one more factor which is patent pending. I can't talk much about it.
Right.
Uh, the parameter, the metric which was missing, I can say that the missing metrics. and which is very playing a crucial part in designing those content. Like in previous understandings of making a film, there were a bunch of uh, methodology how you should create a films which can appeal more emotionally, which you feel very personally. There are some techniques with, there are some pre-built mathematics, there are some maths behind that. With the VR, it's completely different story. We like in the films we have some cuts. There is a cut sense when to cut, when to have the transitions, and these kind of things. But with the VR, we can't just cut a scene and we can't put a user into different zone because he is already immersed, and you can't shock his brain by immersing or teleporting him to some different story. So that's the first implementation where we need a metrics, how our brain sees it, how we get into the uh, experiencing the scene. This is all about the emotions and your the biofeedbacks. So doctors here need to be trained how actually the anxiety begins, how everything begins, how we get out of the balance. That's where our uh, metrics and the parameters are coming in. So it's now with the doctor it's gonna be helpful, but right now we are training a machine learning models, which is like having a scenario. User is playing some games or user is into the film, a 360 film. Simultaneously we are tracking a data. It will be like in timeline, like the video is playing and audio is synced with that video. Same way we
Right.
are tracking a real-time data while user is experiencing the immersive experience. And with the machine learning we can have a meta tags or meta names for that, because these are not explored, and we are exploring a new dimension of how we can link it, how we can link immersive experiences with the personal emotion, personal biofeedbacks. So that's a key challenge to design better machine learning models which can understand the scenario, which can understand where the user are interested, the point of interest of user, and while that user is engaged, what exactly the biofeedbacks he or she is producing, where exactly it's going off balance. Going, is it having some highs or lows, or it's going in the normal way? So that's where how the machine learning will, and we will have to have like more experiments. As the experiments are more, the data will be the concrete, and we can prove it. It's not proven, we need to prove it that yes, immersive experience and emotions are very well connected. We can prove it with the data once we have those biofeedbacks and machine learning trainings going on.
That is
So
very cool. I guess the
so
work.
so, so yeah, so that's a major part where doctors and new psychiatrists and physiologists, so these people will have to have those learnings also. We need to train them in a different way. So the VR clinic is like that's the where it's all gonna be happening.
I guess this is very cool because the experiments you are building, you are really creating really something which is very new and never seen before. Because you are also observing the reaction of patient towards it, and not just his emotional reaction, but also his
I,
biological
I'm
and
not,
physical
I'm not getting.
reactions. Yeah, am I audible now? Yeah.
I think let me continue with that. The previous question I missed some points.
Okay, sure, sure.
So that would be learning for the doctors and for the mental health uh, professionals, the mental care professionals. But there will be an open market, open ground for the content creators, because these data are not only focused for the professionals in the phase. It will be available for professionals who are creating 3D content, so they can design a better 3D, better VR experiences, better games, better films, which are more personalized. So you might have a film, one film, which is version one of for you, and it will have some different perspective for me. The one perspective that will be that's curated for you by machine learning or by AI, with the understanding of your previous biofeedback data, how you reacted to previous experiences. Based on those data, the machine learning and AI will have the curated, personalized, curated data. Because what happens, uh, like we care about what we are eating, but we don't care about what we are feeding it to our brain. We are just consuming data and we are just seeing it. We are just feeding it. We don't have the exact control. Is it good or is it bad? But it's creating your neural pathway. It's creating a pathway so you are taking decisions when you are really into that zone. So it should be there should be a benchmark. Is the data is good or bad? So
Mm-hmm.
likewise, there is a VR for good. The Oculus has started like that. VR for good. They have some films and some relaxation and mindfulness apps in that segment. So these metrics and these biofeedbacks are gonna be like key players in designing next level of immersion.
That is
So
some amazing
it will
insights.
be learnings for professionals also, the mental health care professionals, and it will be helpful for the data creators also.
Okay, that is fantastic. That are some great insights about the XR mental health industry. So, so I
Yeah.
would also love to know some of the experiments which you talked about. You are also said you are capturing the the very impression of the patients, and they not just on a physical and emotional level. You are also experiencing that how they are reacting to it on biological levels, like what how their heartbeat is reacting to the content which you are showing, and based on that doctors could adjust the simulation in the way of effectiveness. It's very amazing. I guess the work you guys are doing, it's pretty fantastic.
It's very choppy. I have. It's very choppy. It's
Very
very
choppy
choppy.
right now. Yeah, any better now?
Yeah, it's better now.
All right, all right. So let's come to the final question. Uh, if there are many people in the industry and many people in our community as well who would love to learn more about this XR healthcare, so do you want to recommend? Do you have some tips for them? And do you want to recommend some blogs or somewhere some articles where they could learn about the current updates and the current state of the art
Repeat it.
research
Repeat
which
it.
is going
The
on?
first part I missed. First part.
Yeah, so a lot of people from the community would love to know about some more resources that where they should start with EXA healthcare if they have to.
I think we need to start. There are very few communities who are talking about mental health and we
Right,
are openly, but
right.
I think we need to start a community. This is like beginning. So focused on mental health and VR. I think even I find difficult to find a content which is connected with this. So I think it's a good time to start VR for good community.
That is, I think, amazing. So at XRDI as well, we are a good community of developers.
Exactly, exactly.
You can also connect to Rahul on XRDI as well, and Rahul will be able to give you some tips if you want to start. So I guess Rahul said it really correct. If you want to start with something like this, you need the support of community, and that's why we have such a connected community and where everybody is trying to help each other. So thank you, Rahul, for being on the podcast. So we shared a lot of insights of XR healthcare and especially mental health domain. So apart from mental health, I'll go on one more topic, which is emotional well-being. So sometime we are also talking about the well-being of people. like they don't have to be like very connected to healthcare, but they have anger issues. They don't have to go in the domain of depression or something, but they have anger issues, or they have normal smoking habits or something. There also some emotional well-being applications in XR are being built. So let's cover that as well.
Yeah, yeah. The virtual reality and the immersive experience is widely used in addiction. I have seen some cases with the China. China is like using virtual reality to treat the addictions and the people over there. So basically, a lot more things are going to be come with the more clinical trials are going, because these people are like they're not going to be like implementing it without some trials going on. So we need concrete data. So China is doing with the smoking habits and the alcohol abuse. So yes, there will be a much more uh, content going on around addictions and the general wellness. So so yeah.
I guess thanks for sharing the insights, Rahul. We really enjoyed the conversation, and we will be delighted that if you mentor us with healthcare at our community. So I guess we had shared a very good conversation today, and it is really amazing to talk to you. We are really honored to
Yeah,
host.
thank you for having me, Avi. It was nice pleasure talking to you. Next time we will having some VR podcast, so I'll be very
For
interested in
sure.
doing VR.
Yeah, definitely, for sure, we'll do it in the VR as well. And it is great that you gave us your time and we discussed a lot of insights.
Thank you.
We faced a lot of technical issues till we were able to complete it. Thank you so much for being on the show. And we'll see
Yeah.
you next week with another podcast. Thank you guys for joining us.